everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. In today's video we're going to be carrying on with our colour along in Rita Berman's book My Tour Through Europe, and we've only got this little one left to do today, so I'll go ahead and zoom you in and we'll get started. So the first colour I'm going to go in with is Crimson Red, and I'm going to use this to fill in this little love heart here that we've got in the background. So I thought we'd do this nice and bright red so that it really stands out. So I'm just going to go ahead and use normal pressure and fill this in. And this one's kind of love heart shaped too, so I'm going to fill this one in as well. And this one over here. Next, going in with Apricot, I'm going to make a start on this drum here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to fill in like the top bit of the drum so that it's nice and light. Then taking Marmalade Orange, we're going to add some shade to this. So what I'm going to do is just use normal pressure and go ahead and darken up just around these edge sections here on both sides. And then I'm going to run this all the way along this edge here too, just to darken up this edge all the way around, and then we'll just leave the rest lighter. Next, taking Fruit Punch, I'm going to make a start on filling in the little details on here. So I want these little dots to be pink, so I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. Again, I'm just going to use normal pressure for this. Then taking Flamingo Pink, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little sort of triangles around the dots themselves. So again, I'll just use normal pressure and go ahead and fill this in. Next, taking Peacock Blue, I'm going to add some blue to this because I don't want it all to be pink. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of these sort of little triangle sections so that this is a nice blue colour, just to contrast the pink a little bit. Then going back in with Flamingo Pink, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this outside section. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill this in. Then taking Fruit Punch, I'm going to add some shadow to this. So I'm going to darken up here where it sort of goes from the outside to the inside. And then I'm going to lift the pressure about halfway so that we've got a little bit more darkness over here going into lighter there. This section here, I'm going to darken up completely just behind this spoon. And then again for these parts, I'm going to darken up the edges. So just use normal pressure on the edges and then lift the pressure as you come in towards the middle. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to go over where we left the lighter colour just to really lighten that up so that it stands out a little bit better. Then going back in with Peacock Blue, I'm going to go ahead and do a light base coat on the spoon because I thought this would look nice blue just to tie in with the rest of the drum. Then taking Sapphire Blue, I'm going to add some shadow to this. So I'm going to add a little bit of shadow here where the spoon joins to the handle. And then I'm going to drag this up the right hand side of the spoon. And then down here again we'll add some shade to the right hand side. Then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and blend this together so that our light blue stays really light and our shade is a lot more obvious. Next, going in with lavender, we're going to make a start on this little guitar here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on this, and I'm going to avoid these little half circle details. So I'm just going to go around them. But here where we've got these lines, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this because you would see through the wires. So I'll just go ahead and use light pressure and fill this in. Next, taking Amethyst purple, I'm going to make a start on adding some shade into this guitar. So I'm going to start by darkening up this little section at the bottom here. So I'm just going to use normal pressure down there, and then I'm going to lift the pressure as we come up so that it blends out nicely. I'll do the same for this section up here. And then I'm going to add a shadow to the right hand side. So I'm going to go right up to these little half circles and go ahead and use normal pressure and darken this up all the way along. Fill in the little details as well around these little circles. And then I'm going to add a little bit more pressure here and just bring this shadow out slightly. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure so that we can blend it out a little bit easier. In here, I'm going to go ahead and fill in with this dark colour because the inside would be darker than the outside. So I'll just fill that circle in. And then I'm going to add some shade up the right hand side here, and the same on this top section. And then again, I'm going to lift the pressure as we come over so that it blends out easier. So going back in with lavender, I'm going to go ahead and go over where we left the light pressure of the amethyst and blend that all together. And then I'm just going to lift the pressure there so that we've got a lighter patch in the middle. Then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go over this lighter patch just to blend it together and to make it a little bit lighter so that we keep our highlight. Okay, so going back in with lavender, I'm going to go ahead and go over where we left the lighter pressure of the amethyst over here too, and start to blend this all together. And then again, as I come away, I'm just going to lift the pressure so that the lightest colour is on the left hand side. So I'm going to use normal pressure down here and darken up this middle section. We use a bit more pressure up here and just around this circle. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure so that we get a nice light highlight on the edge of here. So going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and run this along this edge here to blend this in. And then I'm going to do the same here and blend the lighter pressure out with the white. Next, going in with a gold gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little details around the edges because I think that would look quite nice gold. So I'm just going to use this gel pen to go ahead and fill these in. And I'm also going to use it to fill in this circle piece here, so that that stands out and is nice and shiny. And then we'll go ahead and fill in these top little circles with this as well. So next, going in with our Posca pen, I'm just going to add a little highlight to the spoon where we left the lightest colour, and I'm going to add one here onto the drum as well. And then for the guitar, I'm going to add one here where we left our lightest pressure. So I'm just going to go over these lines that Rita's drawn in just to make it look a little bit more highlighted. Okay, and I'm going to do this to match the drum. So I'm going to go in with Flamingo Pink. And what I'm going to do is fill in like 2 sections of it. So like this piece here is like 2 sections, miss a section, and then fill in the next 2 sections. And again, I'm just using light pressure for this so we can see how it's going to look and if my idea will work. Little one down there. Then I'm going to go in with Peacock Blue, and I'm going to do the same for these sections. So I'm going to add a light base coat to the remaining sections. Then going in with Fruit Punch, this is going to be our shadow colour. So I'm going to go ahead and use normal pressure right at the bottom of these little sections. And then I'm going to lift the pressure as you come up into the middle, and do the same on the top so that our lightest patch will be in the middle of these. Then taking Sapphire Blue, I'm going to do the same for this blue section. So I'm going to shade the bottom edges and the top edges, make them nice and dark. And then I'm going to lift the pressure as I come down, take it to about the same level as we did with the pink. And then do the same at the bottom, bring this up. So going back in with Fruit Punch, I'm going to do the same for this little section. Sapphire Blue for this one. Fruit Punch. And I'm going to use Fruit Punch to fill in the bottom of that one because that one would be darker. And then I'll use Sapphire Blue to fill in the bottom of this one as well. So next, going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and blend these 2 colours together. So I'm just going to go up and down and merge the 2 colours. I'll do the pink sections first because this is the lighter colour. Then you just want to make sure you've got the pink off the white pencil. So just give it a little bit of a scribble on some scrap paper. And then go ahead and do the same for the blue. I'm just going to go back in with Fruit Punch and just darken up a little bit of this pink section, just till you get it how you want it. Then going in with Lavender, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this section here so that this matches the guitar. And again, I'm just going to use light pressure for this. Go ahead and fill this in, and then we will add some shadow afterwards. So going back in with Amethyst Purple, I'm going to go ahead and darken up this line here where it joins, and the top line here as well. And then I'm going to use this to fill in these tiny little shadows around the buttons. Then going back in with Lavender, I'm going to go ahead and darken up the rest of this top piece. Going back in with our gold gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the buttons so that they match the guitar. And this little detail here on the edges. I'm going to use Flamingo Pink to go ahead and fill in this little musical note that we've got. Then taking Fruit Punch, I'm going to darken up the back note, so just go ahead and fill that in. And then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle of the note. Then taking Peacock Blue, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this little flower up here, blue. And I'm going to fill in these little swirls as well. I'm going to go back in with Sapphire Blue and just fill in the center of this little flower to darken that up. Then taking Lavender, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these tiny little pieces here. And these little details, I think they're supposed to be leaves, but I'm going to do them purple because we haven't got any other green in here. And I don't really want to put green into the picture, so I'm just going to use the purple for these. Next, taking Orchid Purple, we're going to make a star on the background. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use this colour to sort of fill in anywhere that I feel like I want this colour to be. So I'm just randomly going to place this in. So I'm going to do some there, and I think I'm going to do it along the bottom of this instrument, and I can't remember what it's called. So I'll just add this along the bottom edge and sort of join it round to there and into this corner. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off so that we can blend it out to a different colour. And I'll do the same here. And then I'm going to add some along this edge of the guitar. And then again, lift the pressure off to blend this out. We'll add some to this edge of the drum. And again, lift the pressure to blend it out. And we'll add some down here. I'm going to fill in this section down here. And then lift the pressure as you come up. And then we'll add some in here around these little leaves and details. And then I'm going to lift the pressure to blend this out. Then going in with UBE Purple, I'm going to go ahead and start to blend this in and see how it's looking. So I'll just use normal pressure at the bottom and then lift the pressure as you go over the last colour. Okay, that's working quite nicely. So I'm going to do the same along here. So go ahead and fill in the bottom line, and then just work this colour up and into the orchid purple so it's all mixing together nicely. I'm going to use this colour to fill in this bottom section here, so I'll just use normal pressure and fill that in. And then here I'm going to take this over the orchid purple and then go ahead and fill in around our little blue swirls that we did. I'm going to go back in with Orchid Purple and go ahead and take this colour a little bit further up to here and join it into the UBE Purple up here. And I'm going to take it right up to this love heart as well, and then lift the pressure just here on top of the guitar. And I'm also going to add some of this colour here and then lift the pressure. So going back in with UBE Purple, I'm going to carry on up here and go over the Orchid Purple and then bring this colour along. Then I'm going to use Orchid Purple and go ahead and fill in this top corner. And then I'm just going to take it over the blend just to make sure that it looks nice as it's blending through. Next, I'm going to go back in with Crimson Red because where I did the purple leaves, we've kind of lost them. So I'm going to go over these with the red and hopefully they will stand out a little bit better. Okay, so going back in with our Posca pen, I'm going to go ahead and add a few little highlights. So I'm going to do a tiny little highlight in the right hand side of each of these sections where we left the lighter colour. And then I'm just going to add a little highlight to both the edges there and one just along the top, just to give that a bit of a shine. We'll add a little bit to this little musical note here. Then for these lines in the background, I'm going to go ahead and go over them with the white pen. And then I'm going to add some tiny little dots just to break up all the colour in the background. Give this little love heart a highlight. And that's it, you guys, that's our finished little picture. And this is how the whole page has turned out. So this is how it looks all completed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this colour along, and I will see you guys in the next video.